ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear children. How is everyone? So today we are going to talk about a verse from third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that third chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Karma Yoga, yoga of action. So, as we know, Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra before the battle had started. And when Arjun had become bewildered, he was scared, confused, to see that his own relatives, his cousins, his teachers, some of his friends, grandfathers, they were on the opposite side to fight with him. So he had said that, I don't want to fight. I give up my weapons. And then, so that's what comes mostly in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and then there is description of the army of both sides and their weapons and the names of their conch shells and things like that. And then Arjun gives various reasons, various logical reasons why he doesn't want to fight this war. And then in the second chapter, Krishna starts to explain to him that you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. And so are all the soldiers on both sides of the army. And soul never dies. And it is the body of the enemies that you are going to kill. Their soul will not die. And you must carry out what is your prescribed duty. So, like that, Krishna tried to convince him so that he doesn't feel any grief in killing them, right? But did he get convinced? Was he going to be convinced just like that? No. After all, he is a dear friend of Krishna, and also he is a cousin of Krishna. So he can ask as many questions as he wants to Krishna, and he can get all his doubts clear. So, in the beginning of third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asks a question to Krishna, that yes, I understand that I am soul. They are all souls. And this is all a matter of buddhi, intelligence. But still, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work means actions. So, because Arjun says that right now my intelligence is bewildered, it's confused by your vague answers, vague instructions. You are not telling me clearly that do this. So Arjun says, please be clear to me and tell me exactly, tell me decisively which will be the most beneficial path for me. because I think my intelligence still tells me that if I stay away from the action, from the work of killing all these men, it is still better. Hmm? So, because, he thinks, he says that because if I don't do any action, then there won't be any reaction, any karmic reactions, right? But Krishna says no. Just by refraining from work, just by not doing any work, one cannot achieve freedom from reaction. So, in simple language, Krishna said that it doesn't mean that if you don't work, it doesn't mean that you will not get any reaction. Hmm? So he says that doing your prescribed duty, performing your prescribed duty, that is your karma. So that action is better than non-action, than not working. So you cannot think that, okay, I will stop meeting anyone, I will stop going to school, I'll stop eating, I won't do anything, and then there will be no reaction. That is not how life goes. Something or other you will have to work, right? So there will be reactions. So non-action is not the way for non-reaction. So Krishna says that if you work, but if you work as if you are working for the Supreme Lord, as if Supreme Lord himself has assigned you that work. For example, what does working for Supreme Lord, what does working for Krishna mean? If I talk about you guys, for example, you all are studying. So if you study as if Supreme Lord himself has given you this task, this mission of studying and doing well in your studies, then you will try your best. Then you will do your best. And that is called working as an offering to Lord. And that is recommended method of doing any work. Working with a consciousness that I'm working for Supreme Lord. Otherwise, if we work for ourselves, then the work causes bondage in this material world. Bondage means action, reaction, then action, reaction, again action, reaction. So there will be a cycle, action, reaction, and then you will just keep taking birth. Because every action has a reaction. If you work for yourself, then you are bound to enjoy or suffer the results. If you do a good activity, good action, then you will come to enjoy the results. If you do a bad action, there will be suffering. So you will be bound to enjoy or suffer the results. And if you don't finish enjoying or suffering the results of your actions in this life, then you will have to come back in this same world just to enjoy or suffer the results. And when you come again, it's not that you will just take the results, you will also do new actions, new karma, which means new reactions. And that way, the cycle of action reaction will result into cycle of birth and death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. So the cycle will just go on and on and on. For example, if you eat, let's just take example of, simple act of eating. We all eat, right? So if you eat animals or parts of animals, then you are committing a sin, because an animal or bird that you are eating also has the same kind and same size of soul as you. Just the body is different. You have a bigger human body, and he or she that you are eating has a smaller, less intelligent animal body. And even if you are vegetarian, you are eating just beans and milk products and plants and vegetables and fruits and all, then also plants also vegetables also have the soul. So there is reaction. There is sin in that also. So the ideal recommended way of eating is to eat as an offering to the Supreme Lord. And I'm not making this up. Krishna says this. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 13. So far, instead of going into the details of the verses and Sanskrit, so far I have tried to summarize the chapter 13, first few verses. Now I'm going to introduce verse 13, that is a significant verse. So I'm going to share it on the screen. It's verse Bhagavad Gita 3.13. Okay. Sure. You can see the screen, Bhagavad Gita 3.13.
I can.
Thank you. Yagna Shishtasrina Santo. Does anyone want to repeat after me?
I could.
Yes. I'll say and then you repeat, okay? Yagna Shishtasrina Santo.
Yagna Shishtasana Santo.
Muchyante Sarva Kilbishai.
Muchyante Sarva Kilvishe.
भुञ्जते त्वे भुञ्जते त्वघं पापा
Bhunjate tve agam papa.
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्.
Ye pachantya atmakaranat.
Anyone else? You can try. You don't have to be perfect in pronunciations. You don't even have to try to sing. You can just read. Anyone?
Okay, I can.
Yes, Vedic. Go. Go for it. You want to repeat after me or you want to recite on your own?
I want to read myself.
Okay, go for it.
Yajna Sishtana Santo. Mukyante Sarva Kilbisa. Bhujante Dev Agam Papa. He Pakyanta Amkaranat.
Very good. I'm so proud of you. Just a couple of corrections. In these verses, when we see this J, you have to pronounce G, Yagna. Okay, this is Yagna. Huh? And when we see the letter C, we have to pronounce Ch. Okay, Muchyante. Ye Pachantya. Okay, everything else was perfect. All right. Would anyone like to read the translation, please?
I can.
Someone new who hasn't read before can read? I can't see your names. Okay, one of you read translation.
I can.
Read.
The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifices. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin.
Thank you so much. Okay. So let me simplify this for you. Krishna says that devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So that is what Krishna says. So if I tell you in simple terms, it means no devotees of the Lord. What does that mean? People who love God, devotees. So they have what? Devotion. They love God and they always remember Him. Or at least, they are convinced. Those people who are convinced that God does exist. What do? Eat food offered first for sacrifice. So that means that they first offer their food to God, before eating it themselves. And what happens to people who eat like this? They are released from all sins. They become free from bad karmic reactions for their action of eating other souls. Hmm? Because even if we remain vegetarian, we are eating plants and fruits and beans, all that, they also have souls, right? So, and what happens to others? Krishna uses a very strong language. He says that Bhunjate te tvagam papa. So he says that what they are eating is literally sin. So if someone cooks or eats just to enjoy for themselves, that food gives them bad reactions. And it may sound strange to some of you, but I will tell you how it works. We think that everyone eats. What's the big deal? How can there be reactions, bad reactions for simple act like eating, right? But how it works is in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. That means, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Everything that is existing, everything that has ever existed, and everything that will ever exist, it all comes from me only. So Krishna says that. So everything belongs to Krishna. The animals, grains, fruits, vegetables, even the fire for cooking. Nothing is really ours. It is given by God. So, of course, when we kill animals and eat, it has bigger and worse reactions because that violates the principle of daya, compassion for other beings. And that's why it is recommended that one should never eat other animals or birds. One should only eat vegetarian food. So when we offer food to the Supreme Lord, we show gratitude. We recognize and we appreciate the fact that Krishna has given me this food. So we say, Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this food. And that offering makes the food spiritual, and now it is called prasadam. Of course, there is a nice procedure for it. You plate it in a nice plate which is exclusively kept for Krishna, and then you plate everything nicely. Put a little tulsi leaf in each item. You put a glass of water, put tulsi leaf in that as well, and you take it in front of the photo or deity of Krishna at your home, and you say some mantras. There is procedure. So those who are interested, those who are not doing this at their home, they are interested, they can message me, and I can send you the whole procedure, or I can explain to you in a separate call. So like that, when you offer food to Supreme Lord, the food becomes prasad. And eating prasadam cleanses us, it purifies us because it is blessed by the Lord. So then magically it doesn't give us negative or sinful reactions. And I'm not saying this is what Krishna has said in this verse, Bhagavad Gita 3.13. So, it doesn't cause us any sinful reactions anymore if we have offered it to Supreme Lord. And also it helps us, it helps our heart become pure. On the other hand, if we just cook and then the food goes straight on the dining table and then straight into our tummy, and if we don't offer it to the Supreme Lord, if we don't offer it to the Supreme Lord first, then we are acting selfishly, as if we are the enjoyers and we are the owners of this food. But as I explained, everything comes from Krishna. He is the ultimate owner of everything, ultimate enjoyer of everything. So if we do like that, then the same food binds us to karma. Karma means good or bad reactions. Now, when I'm giving this class and I'm saying this, I do realize that in some homes, That is the practice, that cook and eat. Hmm. And in some homes, I know the practice is cook, then offer, and then eat. Hmm. So I'm not saying that today only you fight with the person who cooks in your home, your dad or your mom or your grandmom, and then you tell them that, you are making me eat sin. Not forcing you, but I'm just sharing what Bhagavad Gita says on how we should eat. Hmm? Because for everything we do, there is a right way. There is a right way and there is my way. Hmm? So the way I want to do things. So these are sometimes my way and right way are same, but sometimes my way and right way are not the same. Hmm? So my job is to just to show you the right way. Hmm? Uh, you know, so some in some families, they are not they are cooking and just eating straight away, not offering. So sometimes this my way, the way I want to do things, the easy way. Hmm? And sometimes, most of the times the easy way becomes the popular way. That is how everyone does. Hmm? But Bhagavad Gita is called life manual. It teaches us the right way of doing everything in life. Hmm? And yes, the easy way is cook and eat. But let me tell you that, cook, offer, and eat that way is also not very difficult. Hmm? And, it is an excellent way of making connection to the Lord. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, we will see, Krishna explains different kind of yogas. Yogas means yoga means to add. Hmm? Like 1 plus 1 equals 2. So that plus is add sign, right? So yoga is adding. Adding whom, what to what? Adding Supreme Lord to our life. Adding soul and super soul. So making connection with them. Connection. So soul making connection with super soul is called yoga. So Krishna explains different kind of yogas throughout Bhagavad Gita. There is karma yoga, there is jnana yoga, there is ashtanga yoga, different kinds of yoga, different kind of ways to make connection with him. But in all these yogas, again and again, this is what he puts emphasis on, that do make a connection to the Lord. So this way that Bhagavad Gita has recommended, that you cook, you offer to Supreme Lord, then you eat. That way, eating becomes an act of worship. It protects us from sin. And every grain, that we eat, it does involve some violence. There is killing of plants. Killing of microbes. That is also, in subtle way, that is also going on. Of course, we're not even talking about eating meat or, other animals or birds. That is, very clearly sinful. But even when we eat vegetarian food, there is sin involved. There is some subtle violence involved. For example, if you are walking in your suburb and you see a mango is hanging off a mango tree, that the tree is in someone's front yard, but the mango is hanging outside. Huh? So, can you just take that mango? No, because that is called stealing. But if you ask the owner nicely before you take it, and then you thank him after you take it, and when you ask, the owner smiles and says, yes, okay, take it, then it becomes a gift, right? So, in the same way, if we eat without offering to God, it is like stealing. But when we offer first and He happily gives it back, it becomes holy food. And this I just explained with an example of food today. Because I'm trying to, if some festivals come, I'm trying to connect some verses of Bhagavad Gita around that festival as well. But otherwise, I'm trying to go in the flow with Bhagavad Gita. And I gave you the example of food today because in our flow of studying important verses of Bhagavad Gita, this verse has come. But the same principle applies to each karma that we do in our life, each action we perform in our life. Whenever, whether we play sports, we first thank Him. We first thank Supreme Lord for giving us the ability to play. And we play with a conviction that I am playing for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna is watching me play, and he will be very, very happy if I play well, if I do well, if I score. Just like, if you are a really good cricket player or soccer player, and your parents are there in the audience cheering for you, it feels very good. And if you hit a six or you score a goal, but your parents are not there to share that joy, then it feels little less of a joy. Hmm? Similarly, when we start involving God, our eternal parent, in everything we do, then we tap into a very mysterious, a very sweet space of his intimate people called his devotees. And then we always have his protection. So I'll share today's verse again. If someone wants to try and recite the verse after me, they can do that. Otherwise, if someone has any questions, we'll take them.
I could.
Who's gonna have a go?
I can.
Okay. Let's read again. Yagna Shishta Shina Santo
Yagna Sistana Sitanto.
Muchyante Sarva Kilbishai
Munchante Sarva Kimshayai.
Bhunjate
Munjate
Te
Te
Tvagham Papa
Twagam Papa.
Ye Pachantya
Ye Pachantya
Tmakaranat.
Makarana.
Very good. Anyone else?
I could.
Who is that?
Me.
What's your name? Okay, repeat after me. Yagna Shishta Sina Santo
Yagna Shishta Sina Santo.
Muchyante Sarva Kilbishai.
Mukyante Sharva Kilbasyai.
Say it again. Wait, wait.
Muchante
Muchyante
Muchante
Sarva
Sarva
Kilbishai
Kilbishai.
Bhunjate Te
Bhujante Dev
Tvagham Papa
Twagam Papa.
Ye Pachantya
Ye Pachantya
Tmakaranat.
Makarana.
Okay, so you noticed again with it, this is cha. When it's written C, we will pronounce cha. Okay? All right. And the translation was, devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal enjoyment, they verily eat only sin. Okay.